Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at The Wrong Earth, #1. This is like a series of mini-series, so this is the very first issue of Wrong Earth. And I just love this. This is the Golden Age Dragonfly Man, and this is the Silver Age, or the Modern Age Dragonfly. He's cool. He doesn't go by Dragonfly Man. And that's the premise of the comic. I'll open it up, and we'll talk more. So, as I skip pages. So this is #1. This is by Ahoy Comics. And let's look at the indicia. This is published by Ahoy Comics. What year is this? 2018. So good. It's within my my self-imposed rules of when I can show off comics. So this is written by Tom Peyer, who I've become aware of. He wrote the Hourman series. I know he wrote more stuff for DC. I'm not sure if he wrote for Marvel, but he's a good comic book writer. Jamal Igle does the art, and Juan Castro is the inking. Andy Choi color, Rob Steen letters. And just look at this. This Jamal Igle, so the Igle Castro team on this comic is phenomenal. Jamal Igle, say what you want about the guy. Credit where credit is due. He's a phenomenal superhero comic book artist. Look at this. So, what do we got here? We got Dragonfly Man, the Golden Age. Golden Age is kind of a misnomer. Let's say that this is the campy. So this is the campy one. Think of Batman 66. So Dragonfly Man and Stinger, they're in this elaborate hoax trap. And Earth Alpha, that's the designation for that Earth. And this is the #1 gang. So this is the all the pictures have him. He's got mirrors all over the place, so he can look at himself. He's #1. That's #2, #3, #4, #5, and that's the gang. And they commit mischievous crimes. He's like, I'll get out of here. And then what does he do? He turns off the microphone, and they start to leave before Dragonfly Man is dead. And then, of course, Dragonfly Man escapes. How does he escape? He had a reflective metal button hidden in his mouth. He spits it out, knocks the laser over, cuts them all out, and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da, clonk, bash, bonk. It's just so much fun. And now we have Earth Omega. This is the grim and gritty Earth. And look at the art styles changes. The coloring is different. It's raining. And the costume is a little bit more realistic. And what are they doing? They're beating the crap out of him with baseball bats. He reaches in for some equipment. And what does he do? He sets them on fire. Just a conflagration. Beats the baseball bats are on fire. He's beating them all up. He goes in. This is this Earth #1. Of course, he's got mirrors. He's still a narcissistic sociopath. And then here he is. Look at him. He's all like, more realistic looking. And what's he doing? He's stealing blood from people. What a horrible crime, He's kidnapping people and stealing their blood because he has an illness, and he wants other people. So he's like, you're going to beat me up, And then that's what he does. He just violently beats the crap out. He's laughing at him. He's weak from his leukemia or whatever. And he just runs into the mirror, And then they're fighting over here, smashing into the mirror. He tries to escape. He runs into the mirror. And then they switch. So now he's on the wrong Earth. We get the violent, sociopathic, serial killer #1 on this Earth, and we get the goofy, mischievous #1 on the other. So what does he do? He's like, "Who are you?" He just beats the crap out of Stick. He takes a piece of glass and he just stabs him. And even number two, she's like, "What did you do? He's just a kid. You stabbed him." And he just hits her, and she stays to save the kid. Why? Because it's always just been like mischievous crime. And here comes the grim and gritty Dragonfly Man chasing after him. He's like, "Your partner." He's like, "I don't have why is that kid wearing my costume? He's bleeding to death." He's like, "Oh, all right." He's like, "Kid, can you hear me?" And he's taken back. Why? Because his Stinger is dead. Remember, this is remember Robin died. So here comes the police. And right away, he takes up a stance against the police because, he's a Punisher type vigilante. And the police are like, "Dragonfly Man, my wife still thanks you for the card you sent it." And he's like, "What is going on? Where the hell am I?" And, this Dragonfly Man is on the grim and gritty Earth. So they switched. You get the premise. He's like, "Oh my God, look at this kid. We'll save him." So he runs out to the police. And he sees the charred remains of the henchmen, and the police are like, "Step up, put your hands behind your back." He's like, what are you talking about? I'm friends with the cops. What do? They shoot him. blam, blam, blam. You know, we got it. We got Dragonfly Man. We got that Psycho. You know, and then, you know, you check him out. I'm scared. They're scared of him. They're scared of him, and they pull up his face. It's Richard Fame. Like, how could it be him? You know, what's going on? What's going on? He's like, listen, we're going to take you downtown. We're going to arrest you unless you give us money. So all the cops are corrupt. He doesn't know how to handle this. Everything's like good, just so good. And story of Stinger doing like little backup stories of Stinger doing occult. You know, he consults a witch to learn his future and everything. You know, they make the paper look like old faded newsprint. No, letters pages. Here's a picture of Jamal Igle, excellent comic book artist. Oh, that's all I'll say about him. He is an excellent comic book artist. And then there's HUD Hornets Holiday in Hell, a story written by Grant Morrison. You know, so you get some text pages. You know, an interview. This is everything a comic book fan wants. Look at that picture. Look at that. This is everything a comic book fan wants. This is such a good comic. So this is a 6-issue series. And then they did a couple of one-shots, which I read. And, you know, some of the one-shots are written by, you know, some of the one-shots are written by people other than Tom Peyer, but they are good. This comic book is made for me. I love this comic. I don't know what else to say. I could gush for another 20 minutes. But we'll end there. And thank you. We'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.